are you?
ALASTOR! Pleasure to be meeting you. Quite a pleasure. I'm about to end your fucking life.
Hello everybody, and today we'll be talking about the history of ALASTOR from Hazbin Hotel. ALASTOR was born on Earth to a mixed-race Creole family in New Orleans, Louisiana. He was born approximately around the 19th century, which is the turn of the century in case you're wondering, and he experienced the stock market crash of 1929.
So many orphans.
He was close friends with future Hell resident Mimsy. He would attend her jazz club, where he would get heavily drunk, but he would continue to dance, and he'd also get up to a lot of very sickly and dangerous stuff. While he was alive, he hosted a radio show in New Orleans as a cover for what he was really doing, which apparently was a serial killer, where he would kill people and bury them in, well, I guess the bayou. It is very unclear exactly how this espionage went on, but it went on for quite a while. ALASTOR would die in 1933 while burying one of these bodies out in the bayou. Apparently it was related to a dog-related accident, though it was obviously that he was mistaken for a deer during a hunting accident, which shot him in the forehead. And he ended up waking up in hell, taking on the appearance of kind of a deer demon with a monocle from his previous life. As in hell, you take on your form of what you previously were in your real life, which is pretty interesting. I like that. I like Hazbin Hotel. That's why I'm doing this video. At some point, he sold his soul either immediately or later, which is something that he very much does not like being brought up, because he actually owns a lot of leashes, which is not very common to see for Overlord to be owned by someone else. It is probably because of this Overlord's doing that he became a very powerful sinner demon, also probably because of his expertise as a serial killer, as he would take over many Overlord's positions and kill many of them, broadcasting their screams on his radio show in hell. While he will be feared by most, he is very welcome at the Cannibal Town, especially with their Overlord Rosu, who he's pretty close friends with. They seem to have a match his style of the 1920s. So while he did kill a lot of Overlords, he still gets along with a couple of them, only really notably being Rosie and another old ancient Overlord known as Zestial. One Overlord that he does not get along with, even though they used to be friends, is Vox. At some point they were more friendly to each other, but then Vox tried to do a deal with ALASTOR, which he didn't really seem to like, so he rejected the offer, making Vox extremely mad at ALASTOR, especially after they had a fight, apparently, where ALASTOR came up on top, and Vox is now dedicated to trying to destroy his reputation, or just kill him in general. Because of this, ALASTOR actually has the ability to not be able to be filmed, as he does not like Vox's choice of media. He'll actually break cameras because of that fact. Pretty crazy, I know.
Face was made for radio.
ALASTOR killed most Overlords, but he would keep some of them as his own, including Husk, who he got his soul in a game of cards. Another soul he has is Nifty, who he didn't try hard to get, because Nifty likes bad boys and ALASTOR's a bad boy, so she pretty much gave it up immediately, not that she cares. Despite all this, for 7 years before the show premiered, he was absent for some unknown reason that we are not aware of yet. But when he does come back, he sees that Charlie Morningstar, the Princess of Hell, was opening her own hotel. Hearing about this idea brings joy to ALASTOR. He thinks it's a hilarious idea and wants to help out. But he also may or may not want to do a deal with, well, the Princess of Hell, who is very powerful, but also very naive. So he makes an informal deal with her that he will help out with the hotel using his unique Overlord powers, because, well, it's entertaining, but also because he can get more sinners that way, or souls, I should say. He even summons 2 souls to help work for the hotel, being Nifty, who likes doing it, and Husk, who definitely does not like doing it. And he offers protection, too, especially when Sir Pentious tries to attack with his weird war machine. Because, well, ALASTOR has a lot of unique powers, including tentacles, which, maybe he's kinky like that. Apparently he's not, because he's asexual. He does not feel love. And to show his dominance over the hotel, he renames it from the Happy Hotel to the Hazbin Hotel. It's a much better name. Though, a week later, it seems that he hasn't really contributed much other than a really bad commercial and just insulting everybody. But he's doing it for the fun. He loves fucking with people, alright? That's his character. But he's able to defend it from another Sir Pentious attack, which goes even worse than the last time. But during this battle, he loses a part of his coat, which makes him very upset. And on a trip to his tailor, he sees that his old nemesis Vox is promoting stuff about him. So just because, ALASTOR goes back to his radio show just to broadcast how much of a loser Vox is, which actually causes a Vox to have an electrical shortage and causing the Pentagon City to go dead for a little bit. Not that really a big deal, but it's pretty funny. Vox's plan of sending Sir Pentious to the hotel also fails, and ALASTOR destroys his tech just to prove that he's really bad at it. Meanwhile, Alistair visits an Overlord meeting where the rest of the Overlords are there to talk about this angel exorcism problem, which Alistair does get some very interesting information. Not only does he learn that angels can be killed, but he also gets important intelligence that they can be killed by using angelic weapons, which is very hard to find, especially in Hell. When the King of Hell, Lucifer Morningstar, comes to visit his Star's hotel, Alistair fucks with him immediately and tries to undermine him, especially in front of Charlie, who's been trying to manipulate pretty much throughout the entire series to get on her good side. But things don't go that well, as his old friend Mimsy embarrasses him in front of everyone by bringing in some loan sharks to the hotel. But he still made a good impression in front of everybody, other than Lucifer, who hates his guts.
Well, it's not very clever.
Ah, fuck you.
Luckily for Alistair, though, unlucky for everyone else, Charlie ends up messing up her meeting in heaven, which allows him to take advantage of the situation. Taking advantage of her weakened state and desperation to kill angels, he makes a deal with her to give her that information that he learned in a previous episode. This actually makes him really smile for the first time, as he may or may not be cursed to actually smile forever, but is pretty unaware. But Alistair keeps good on his deal and brings Charlie to the cannibal town in order to help her recruit the cannibals to fight the angels. It may seem after all this time that Alistair might have gotten accustomed to the hotel guests and actually may or may not like them, even if he can't really love them because he's asexual, apparently. And while it may not be in his best interest, he does help out the hotel during the final battle against the angels, especially Adam, who is the head of the Exorcist Angels and is extremely tough. His force field originally blocks him out for a while, and he's able to put up a good fight against him, but it ends up failing miserably for Alistair. After being defeated, he realizes that he was about to die for other people, which actually makes him go really scared and decides to retreat instead of actually continuing the battle. He probably could have. This actually may cause him to have a mental breakdown as he tries to pull against his restraints that have been keeping him down for a while, as he vows to remove them so he can finally be pulling all the strings that he wants to do, because, he's not able to. Which is pretty much where his story ends. We'll learn more about his backstory, and what will he do against Vox in the next season of Hazbin Hotel, which is coming out very soon next month. Well, I'll see you then. And I will be doing it with a smile.